Okay, I'm sure you all can see. So, um, so if you watch here, you're going to see we can have file YML. We can have YML. We can also have JSON. If you remember, when we started our foundational class in the beginning of the program, we talked about something called JSON, JavaScript Object Notation. That's the full meaning of this word, JSON. Then YML, I think it's um, yet a markup language. I think that's what it's called. You understand? Now, these are special files or file formats. The same way when you create a Microsoft Word file, the Microsoft Word file ends with .docx. If you come here and say sample.docx, you understand? That is a Microsoft Word file, as you can see. If I create another file and say beauty.jpg, see, that's a picture file. You understand? So there's also a type of file called YML, another type of file called JSON. Okay, so I can come here and say project2.json. All right, you see, so this is the file formats for it. So I want you to understand that we can create our CloudFormation. We can create our CloudFormation. There's something we call CloudFormation templates, but I'll use the word files for now. Okay, we can create our CloudFormation files in two formats, either in YML or in JSON. All right. So let me try to log in. I really hope this goes in without any hiccup. All right, good. It's coming in.
Have you started recording?
Yes, please. I had already started
Okay.
before.
All right.
Thank you. So now inside this file, we can write a whole lot of things. Friends, you remember when we were talking about Terraform, how Terraform can communicate with the AWS API to create AWS resources. I'm sure you all remember that. So it's the same thing. CloudFormation is AWS own tool. You know, most of these companies, they like creating their own tool so that you don't have to go outside. Anything they can do just to keep you within AWS. That's why we use the word cloud native. You understand? To use just be within the AWS cloud domain. Do you understand? If you want to provision resources, you don't need to go and use Terraform, even though AWS supports Terraform, but they created their own called CloudFormation. Do you understand? Aha. So please, I want you to also understand that behind the scene, when you start using some other services, like there's a service called Elastic Beanstalk. Beanstalk. When we get there, you realize that when you start using it, it helps. It uses CloudFormation behind the scene to automate and create the resources for you. Okay. So I just want you to know about that. So let's come here and let's type Cloud Formation. Okay. So when we do that and we click on this, it helps us to create and manage resources with templates. Create and manage resources. Okay. I'm sure you all know the resources we are talking about. So the resources, as mentioned, could be could be EC2, it could be security group, could be S3, and IAM, and so on. All those resources, you understand? We can use CloudFormation to create them. Do you understand? So if I come into this file and maybe just write some, so let's just, okay, no, let me rename this file called project2 to, or before that, let's just do something else. I'll just come here and say, writing CF, which is CloudFormation dot YML. Okay, just anything does YML. So how do we write CloudFormation? That's what I want to explain to you. So what we usually do, right? If you look at this project here, this one here, you can see so many things, right? This is going to confuse you. you will get very, very confused, right? Now, but watch what's going to happen. When I come to this place, I came to this search bar and I clicked on CloudFormation, and you can see here, you can see this. This is what you're going to see. All right. I want to believe that this is how yours will look like. Okay. Now, if for any reason you don't know how to use it, that's fine. You can click on this that says create stack. For now, we don't want to import a resource from another place. We want to create one new resources. Okay, so I'll choose the first one. You see that? Now, if you look closely, you're going to see there are 4 steps. Okay, now, but while we are looking at this section of CloudFormation, I want you to also see that we have things like this. Okay, different kind of things we can do here. All right, so we want to be able to create a stack. What is a stack? A stack is like a how do I call it? Layers of AWS resources. You understand? When one resource is dependent on another resource. For instance, do you all agree with me that when you create your EC2 instance, right? You know that that EC2 instance is going to come with a security group. That EC2 instance is going to come with a key. Okay, in case you attach a key, that EC2 instance is also going to come with a VPC. Is it not true? So you notice that just one service can come with so many things. So once one resource is stacked upon another instance, you understand? So often there's an order. There's an order. You understand? Please take note of that. So if you look at this closely, you're going to see stack. Okay, so it's just a stack of resources. Okay, so now if you want to create the resource, you're going to see prerequisite, prepare a template. So this is a simple template. Okay, now, but don't worry if you've not created yours. I'm going to guide you step by step so you can be able to do this. All right, now, but it's telling us how do we prepare the templates. Okay, so should we choose from an existing template we already have, or we should build from infrastructure composer? Now, in the older version or UI, older user interface, this is called designer. Okay, this is called the infrastructure designer or CloudFormation designer. Okay, where you can, if you click on this right now, it's going to open CloudFormation in a designer mode where you can be able to design and create your infrastructure that way. Okay, but just hold on. Good. This is what it looks like. Can you all see this? If you remember when we start drawing our architecture, you usually see something that looks like this, right? I hope you all know how I got here and it's not confusing. So if for
Yes,
any
sir.
reason I want to create an EC2 instance and I come here and I type EC2, do you understand? You're going to see there are different things here. You understand? So you need to come here and look for the specific one you want. Do you understand? So in this case, if it's an EC2 instance I want, this is EC2 instance, right? I can click on this and drag it to this place. Do you see that? This is an instance. Now, the interesting thing is this. If you let me show you something. Let's maximize this so that we can see this. There's usually, if you click on details, you'll see the information about this. Now, but let's remove this so that you can see something. You can also check, hold on, they've actually changed the UI. Before now, you will always see the code at the bottom, but let's click on the templates. Okay, good. So these people are so weird. So before now, this template you see here is always at the bottom. So this, I just dragged that I wanted to create an instance and I dragged this to this place. Is it not true? This is just what I dragged here. But do you see behind the scene? This is the code, resource, instance, type, AWS : EC2 : instance. Then you give it a property. So come here and see my own template. Okay, look at this carefully. You're going to see something. Just please don't try not to get confused. Okay, watch here. You're going to see something here. Can you see there is a name here and then there's properties? Can you see these 3 things here? This, type, and properties. Okay. What I want you to just understand is this. I'm going to choose another resource here. Let's come here and type S3. I'm going to type S3. Okay. Now, when you type S3 and drag this S3 buckets here, you understand? So this is an S3 bucket, right? Now, if you click on templates, did you see there's a lot of things here? Now, but if you watch it, because of the order in which I created it, I created this instance before I created this. Is it not true? If you come to the template, you see that the instance is at the top. And then you will see that the bucket starts from line 5. Can you see? So it created a bucket and gave it a type and then properties. Then this is for policy. Okay, so don't get confused with this policy just yet. This is just what I want you to see. Okay, can you all see? So if you come here, you're going to see, let's minimize this. So the first thing you will see there is resource. Okay, can you see resources is what you see there? Okay, resources. Now, what type of resource do you want to create? An instance. What type of resource do you want to create? A bucket or a bucket policy? Do you understand? Now, if you come here, you're going to see the two of them, but in the template, this is how they look like. Do you understand? You see a whole lot of amazing things like this. Okay, so I'm trying to make you understand this so that when you see templates being sent to you, you don't get confused. Okay, we're taking it slow and steady, slow and steady. Okay, so I'm going to come here and delete this bucket for now. I'll just delete it and come here so that you can see just this. Okay, now friends, look closely. Look closely. So this is to validate it, right? Supposing I want to create an EC2 instance. If I want to create an EC2 instance, this is all enough to create an EC2 instance, as simple as this. You understand? So I can come and copy this code if I want to. Do you see that? But I'm going to use the console. So if I do this, validate is just to check whether the code is it's okay, right? And as you can see, there's no error, right? So if I come here and say create templates, did you see? It's going to create a template from this. I want to create an EC2 instance. Did you see that? Now, if I click on confirm and continue, let's see. We are creating the following bucket. Oh, hold on. I'm not going to proceed with this. I didn't check it properly. So it seems, let's see. Let's open this again and see something. Let me be sure that I did not. It's just EC2 instance. Okay, click on templates. Yeah, it's just this. So why is it telling me? Good. We are creating the following bucket to hold. Okay, good. Good job. Confirm to continue. All right, good. So once you do this, you get this here. All right. Let's take it one step at a time again. One step at a time so that I don't lose you. Friends, when we started this session, what did we do? We simply came to CloudFormation. Is it not true? Then we saw stacks. Is that true? Create stack. And the first thing you see is just these steps here. And I told you there are two ways. We can either use this infrastructure composer or designer, okay, a visual builder, or you can use a template you have already created somewhere. Okay, I showed you how to get the designer. Okay, so we wanted to create a simple EC2 instance, and then I put the instance. All you need to do is to drag and drop the resource. Once you drag and drop the resource, it knows what to do. Do you understand? So now when we did that, this is what it did. It created a template from that UI. Okay, now the second thing that CloudFormation is going to do is this: the code, right? You see that code that looks something like this that we got from the UI designer. It saves it in a YAML file. Can you see this YAML file? It saves it in a YAML file and stores it in S3. So in case you see Amazon S3 URL, don't get confused. I am not trying to create S3. No, I am creating an EC2 instance. Okay, but that YAML code that we created from this UI designer is going to be stored in an S3 bucket. Okay, I hope you understand this. Good. Now, the next thing I'll do is to click on next. Now, you're going to see it's asking me to give it a stack name. I'll come here and say EC2 demo. Now, there's no parameter. Okay, I'll click on next. Now, if you watch closely, you're going to see different kind of things here. We can add a tag, we can put permission, and the rest of them. Okay. So now, for now, we're going to leave everything by default. I won't ask you to tamper with anything. All right. Don't touch any of those things for now so you don't get confused. We'll leave it by default. Okay. So this is in case you start using it after a long while and there's an error. You do something and instead of just failing, it will roll back to the previous one. Okay. So that's what we call deployment state. Okay. Or a deployment behavior. Okay. It will roll back to the previous working state. Okay. Now, use deletion policy. So let's just leave everything stable as it is. So I'll come here and I'll click on next. Okay. All right, good. So look at a review of everything. So we got the template. The template is saved in a S3 bucket, okay, in a YAML file. All right. And not just that, we gave the stack a name, and this stack does not have any parameter. Then we didn't give it any tag, we didn't put any permission or any stack failure options, nothing. We just left it everything the way it is. All I need to do is just to click on submit. So once you watch, you see what's going to happen. So you will notice carefully some things is happening. So the first thing you should see is that under the stacks, there's what we call stack details and drift. Did you see that? So now, but if you're still on this stack details and you still see this, what you see, there is stack info here. You're going to see stack info here. All right. You're going to see stack events here. You're going to see resources here. And you're going to see outputs here. And then you're going to see parameters here. Did you see that? Good. So these are all different kinds of things we can do to work with our stack. Now, but if you click on resource, you're going to see the resource you're creating. We are creating an AWS EC2 instance, but the status says it has failed. You see that? Now, if you click on events, you can see more about it. Okay. If you check here, you will see different things it was doing. You understand? User initiated state, resource handler, return message, property image ID cannot be empty. Good. Now, if you look closely, friends, look closely. You will see, I'm teaching you so that you will learn how to debug and how to understand how this works. From this error message, which tells you the status reason, you can see that it says the property image ID cannot be empty. Please, do you remember when we are creating Terraform, when we want to create an AMI, an EC2 instance, right? We put an AMI ID. Is that not true? You know, it needs the AMI ID to create the EC2 instance. So it's the same thing it's trying to tell us right now. You understand that we will need an AMI ID or image ID to be able to create it. And from all indication, there's nothing like that available in our code. You see that? And that's why this failed. You understand? So normally what I'm supposed to do is to click on this. You see, if you check here, you're going to see a lot of things. You understand? If you go to the S3 bucket, you're going to see the YAML file. You can edit it if you want to, okay? But what we are going to just simply do is we're going to delete this resource, okay? We're going to delete it. So I'll just click on this, delete, and click on this, okay? So now if you wait a little while, you're going to see, let's come here and click on events. Okay, good. Can you see? Delete in progress, delete complete, delete complete. So we've successfully deleted just this stack it tried to do. Now, but let me show you a better way what we would have done, okay? Now I'm just showing you before I come to start using this code or doing anything. You understand? I don't want to get you confused just yet. So if I click on so right now this will always be here. You will always see things like this. Do you understand? You always see something like this. At least we've created some stack, even though it failed. You always see this. Okay. Now, if we click on stacks, this is what you're going to see. Okay. We only have one and it has been deleted. If you want to delete it completely, just select this. And if you click here, now, hold on. No, let's see. I think after a while, it's going to be available for us to delete. Okay, good. There's nothing here. So because since once you deleted it, the stack is no longer here. So I was thinking it didn't delete. That's why I wanted to select it and click on this delete. All right, good. So I'll click on this create stack again. Okay. For now, remember, I'm still using this one. I don't want to use this for now. So I'll click on this. Okay. And click on this. Okay. Now, what's going to happen? Remember, I'm going to come here. I'm going to type EC2. You see that? Now, EC2 instance or you can type instance. Okay, you can check here. So you see EC2 instance. You can drag this and bring it here. Okay, so if you click on details, you can see more about it. Okay, so this is the you can put your configuration value here if you want to. Now, but you can come to templates and then you can put all those, every extra thing you need will be put inside this line 4 for the properties. Now you may be wondering, what will you put inside here? I got you. This is what you're going to do. Friends, don't try to memorize this, okay? Take note that every time you want to create something, whether it's an instance on S3 buckets or anything, it will always come with the name resource. So what type of resource? So you can remove this resource, it will still work, okay? You can remove these resources here, it will still work. Okay, so but just know that in this case the resource we want to create is called instance. Okay, now what type of instance? AWS EC2 instance. I can change this name from instance to anything I feel like. You understand? I can maybe change it to holla dash instance. I can give it that name I want. Okay, just know that the most important thing is that this is an instance, but it needs properties. So let me show you how to get this to work. So the first thing you should always do is this. Anytime, just type AWS Cloudformation. You see that? Now ask yourself, you ask yourself, is it EC2 instance you want to create or is it S3 you want to create? So if it's EC2, I'll just type EC2 here. Did you see that? Now, but for now, let's take the step-by-step approach for now so you don't get confused. I'll just go to CloudFormation and hit enter. Okay. Now, when I do AWS CloudFormation and hit enter, you're going to see I need the documentation. Oh, good. How CloudFormation works. Yeah, this should be it. So this should be the documentation for AWS CloudFormation. You understand? So once I click on this documentation, let's watch what happens. Okay. Please remember to ask me question if you have any. It can be very confusing. What is this? Okay, so while this is trying to load, let me show you something. So I was trying to show you how to write it here. You understand? Remember we installed an extension. Okay. Remember we installed an extension. So if I wanted to use that extension, all I need to do is the first thing we normally do in a plain file like this is we write the version, just like when you want to write an AWS IAM policy. You know, you used to specify the version of the IAM policy. You understand? Aha. So if you come and put something like AWS, you'll see something like template format version. The same way, if you look at this one, if you look at this, you're going to see this. Let's check it again so you can see AWS template format version. you put a specific version, but the latest version it's using is 2010.09. So I can copy this if I want to, but from experience, I know that if I want, what I would just do is AWS. So if I come here and choose this and hit enter, you see that? So I already know the version, so I'll just remove this and say this is the version I want. You see that? AWS template format version. Good. That's the first thing. Then the next thing you might want to do is to put a description. You understand? A description for what you want to do. Do you understand? So it's not compulsory, but some people usually do that. You understand? So when they put a description, they just put an explanation what this template is going to do. You understand? So it could be something like this will create a simple EC2 instance. You see that? Now, the next thing you might want to do, you can put a space, it's not compulsory, be on the same line, is to create a resource. Okay? Resource. Now, if you resources, so if I click on resources, this is what you will see. You understand? So now if I hit enter, the question is, what kind of resources do you want to create? EC2 instance, S3 bucket or so. But the way we do it is we used to press tab, or we just space 2 times. If I press 1, 2, you see that? Or I just hit enter and press tab. You see that? Now, if it's an instance, I can type instance. You understand? So, of course, this, if you remember the, what is it called? The plugin, the, what do I call it again? The extension we just installed, right?
Extension.
Yeah, thank you. The extension helps us and makes things easier. Do you understand? So I don't need to memorize some of these things. Do you understand? So if I click on this, it's going to give me a sample template of what I will need to create an EC2 instance. Can you see? I just clicked on it and it gave me something like this. So this name you see called my EC2 instance, it can be any name. It can be 1, 2. It can be Mr. Victor's instance. Did you see that? So then the next one you see here is type. What this type is very important. You see that? This type is very important. Now, what type? AWS column EC2 instance. This is line 6 is what helps Terraform knows, sorry, is what helps CloudFormation know that it's EC2 instance you want to create, not be line 5. Line 5 is like a name. It's just a name for the resource. Does that make sense? Okay, so, but the instance you want to create is line 6. If it was S3 bucket, you're going to notice that this will change. Then every resource has properties. Okay, every resource has properties. So this has already told us that these are the most important properties. A key name, in case you need a key. You understand? You will give it a key name. Disable API termination, true or false, or yes or no. Okay. Image ID, you put the image ID. Instance type, T2 micro or T2 large. Monitoring, true or false. Security group ID, you put it. User data, if you want it to install a script, then you give it a tag. All these things you see here, this is all you need to create a simple EC2 instance. Does this make sense? Now, you may be wondering, what if we don't have this extension? That's what I was trying to show you from the documentation. You all know how I got to this place. Is it not true? Good. From the AWS documentation. Friends, please, I want you to look closely. Can you see these things here? We call it what? Templates. Okay. Now, but I can show you 2 important things. The template reference and what we call working with templates. Okay. Working with templates and what? Templates reference. Okay. Now, but I don't want you to get confused. On your own, take your time to read this documentation. It's very, very easy and friendly. Okay. Now, it's one of the best out there. Now, if you scroll down, you see a lot of things. I've already told you that it's usually in YAML and JSON formats. You understand? Now, but the most important thing is this. This is what a simple instance looks like. So you can also come and copy this. You see that? You can copy this and paste it there. So if we copy this now and highlight all this and paste this, this is it. It's a very simple one. Can you see description, a sample template, resources, my EC2 instance, this. Can you see? You can now come and change this AMI ID. You see that? You can change the AMI ID. Now, of course, you all know how we get AMI ID. Okay, so now this one you see here is not compulsory, but it's if you want the instance to have a volume, a hard disk drive. I'm sure you all know what EBS is. Okay, the volume, elastic block storage. Okay, the volume that is usually attached to your EC2 instance. Okay, so this is like the default one you want to attach to that EC2 instance. You understand? Aha. So this is a key. You must make sure that the key has already been created. Okay, so now this is a very simple thing we have here. You see that? Now, if I don't want to use this, I can also use the JSON format, which you all see here. This is what a JSON looks like. If you've seen your IAM policy, it's in JSON format. This is YAML format. Is this confusing? Any confusion so far?
No, sir.
Please, is it making sense? Before I move to the next thing. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to do a whole lot of things, but where I want to draw your attention to is if you click on this place that say working with templates, working with what? Templates, working with CloudFormation templates. You're going to see different kinds of things here. You understand? Now, I don't want you to please get confused because you will see so many things. Now, but the first thing I want you to pay attention to is called the template format. If I click on the template format, right, you're going to see a structure. You understand? For what it looks like. Okay, this is JSON. Okay, now this is YAML. So what is saying that this is what it looks like? You should have the template format version, then you put the version date. Description is a string. String is anything we put like a text, okay, not numbers. Okay, so description, metadata, okay, extra information about the templates. Then the next thing is parameters, rules. All these things you see here are part of the things we can find inside a CloudFormation template. Okay, but if you notice, we want to create EC2 instance. We didn't need these three. We didn't need any of this. Okay, we just use the template, we just use the description, and then we use resources. Output is just like, if you remember Terraform, output when you want it to give you the IP address, to give you the identity or the value of the resources it's going to create, the URL endpoints like we did in S3. You understand? It's almost the same thing too. So these are the kind of things we need for a typical template. You understand? So you may be asking yourself, okay, what kind of things goes into each one of them? You understand? Because it can be very confusing. You understand? So you need to understand how each one of them work. You understand? So that's where all these things comes in. Do you understand? That's where all this thing comes in. Now, if I don't want to get you confused, let's collapse this and let me collapse this one and click on template reference. Did you see template reference? Good. Now, if I scroll down, you're going to see this is what we have here. Now, I'm just going to click on resource and property reference. I'll click on this. Now, did you notice? Don't get confused. Please don't get confused. I'm going to move away from here very soon so you don't get confused. So the most important thing is anytime you see a resource, did you notice that whenever we create a resource like EC2 instance, you're going to see this, and then this. 3 things, 1, 2, 3. Service provider, service name, data type name. Service provider, AWS, service name, data type name. Is it making sense now? So if you now want to create a resource for maybe S3, all you need to do is to look at the service resource type that they have here. You understand? And say, okay, I'm looking for S3. Do you understand? And if you are able to find S3, the Lord is your strength, which is this, you click on S3. You understand? And you're going to see the resource type. Can you see the way it looks like? So if you want to create a bucket, this is how it looks like. AWS : S3 : bucket. So you can even click on it and you see what it looks like. Do you understand? And you see the JSON format of it, and you see the YAML format of it. And you notice that some of each type used to have properties. So let's go back to only the EC2 instance. Let's focus on EC2 instance and create it. So I can either do it here or go back to the previous page. But let me come here and look for EC2 instance. Good, EC2, click on this. Okay, good. So this is EC2 instance. So these are different types of resource type on EC2. But what we want to create is an instance, not EIP or key pair. You see that? We want to create an EC2 instance. We can click on it and you'll see. Okay, so you can scroll down. Okay, so this is how the YAML is. So if you want to create an EC2 instance, this is the first thing you put, the type. And the second thing is the properties. Okay, and you can see all these properties. Now it's not compulsory. Remember, disable API termination. It says Boolean. What is a Boolean? True or false? So if I come here and it's asking me for what is it called? No? Okay, not here. It was the other guy. I think I've deleted it. But when we had that name here, what that delete API termination. Yeah, this disable API termination rather. So I was telling you it's Boolean, true or false. So that is how to know the values. So people that write these things, they don't memorize it, they don't cram, they just get used to the documentation. If you don't know how to read the documentation, you will get confused. So if each time you look at each of this documentation, please look at the right-hand side so you don't get confused. The syntax, the properties, and the returning values, and an example. You understand? So on AWS EC2 instance, you see the syntax, you see the properties, you see the return values. So if you click on syntax, you're going to see this is in JSON format. If you say no, you don't want JSON format, you prefer YAML, this is what it looks like. And must you use all these things? No. You see that? And that's why you come, the next thing you see here is the properties telling you whether it is required or not. For instance, can you see additional information? So look at the top here. So you see, just look at this. Under properties, additional information, affinity, and availability zone. Let's scroll down. So you see additional information. After they tell you what it does and all the many things, the last thing you see is required. No. So is it a must to put it? The answer is no. What about affinity? Is it required? No. What about availability zone? Is it required? No. So except you want to deploy it, you want to put it in a specific availability zone, yes, you can do that. I hope this is making sense to everybody so that you will understand the way we came about this information you see here. Okay? Nobody manufactured it. Is this, am I getting your attention? Does it make sense, friends? If it makes sense, please can you just tell me yes or no? Just to be sure. Do we get it? Is it confusing? Are you guys still with me? Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr.
I
Shiva,
know it's, yeah, go ahead with your question if you have.
so are you saying if we don't want to use YAML, like we can just use this JSON, like this
Yes,
JSON.json file.
yes,
So to is it to spin up the instance from CloudFormation, right?
yes, yes.
Okay. I think the problem me personally I'm having is like knowing the block, like knowing the um attributes to add to the block.
I know. It's a
Yes,
challenge for
it's
everybody. I know. It's a challenge for everybody. And that's why I'm focusing on it. I know I've taught a lot of people and I know where they make a lot of struggles. And that was why I'm trying to make you understand how to read the documentation because it can be confusing. And some companies prefer people who have cloud formation experience. You understand? So if you understand how to read the documentation, it's a great job. You understand? So now, if that's why if you come here, you see examples, you click here, and then you'll see an example, and they will give you the bare minimum. You see that? The bare minimum of what you need. So if you want to create an EC2 instance, this is the YAML file. But what if you want to create an EC2 instance that requires you to install something with user data like Terraform? You see, this is the JSON file, and this is the YAML file. Did you see? Did we do anything special? Do you get the drift?
yes, yes. So like in that Terraform now, let's say
Mhm.
you spin up like an instance, then maybe you have some and you've done that already, you've done the Terraform apply. Then maybe later you remember something that you've not added to the block. Can you like go back to the main.tf and add it again and
Exa-
it still
yeah,
joins, it still
yeah.
goes inside the.
Once you update the code and you do Terraform apply, it will update the resource. Yes, it will.
So I think that's the advantage that Terraform has to the ClickUps, right?
Not
Hmm?
just, not really per se, but that and more. The beautiful thing about it is one, for automation, two, to prevent repeatability, repeating something again and again and again and again.
Okay.
Not have,
Uh,
instead, if you ask somebody to go and create 100 instance or 20 instance or an instance, instead of going to repeat, click here, click here, click here, click here, why don't you just have a template of creating an EC2 instance in CloudFormation and just go and specify what you want in the template, and that's all. And upload it. Terraform will, AWS will see the template and just create whatever you specified inside that. So if you share that template to 20 other people, all of you will create the same thing that is matching the specification. Do you understand? Yeah, go ahead.
yes. So I think I have one more
What?
question. Let me
Okay,
think it through very well. I'll still.
okay, please do. All right, so let's quickly. So now I believe to a great extent you all understood how I came about these documentations, how all this thing comes about. You understand? So I was trying to do some of them here, whereby you write AWS and then the template. So this is how you try to memorize it if you want to remember it. You understand? You might not always remember it, but at least you can be able to know what is going on. Do you understand? So back in the day, I remember I type it by myself. You understand? So that I can always have muscle memory of each one of them. Why are you? So resource, the same thing. And then you type the resource you want to create. The same thing with S3 buckets. You understand? So let's get back to this. So we were trying to create the what is it called? So I'm sure you all know what is going on here. You all can understand the reason why we got an error the first time we used this console builder, because there was nothing inside the properties. You see that? So we can actually edit it from here. You understand? And add what we want to add. Do you understand? So now, if you look at this, right, you're going to see this now. Now, but if you look at this, this is what you're seeing here. This is in JSON format. Okay, so if you click on this, this is in, no, sorry, this is JSON format. Do you understand? And this other format is in YAML format. Do you understand? So we use this curly brackets open and close when there's nothing inside. Do you understand? So if you want to put something like this, let's put something like this, and okay, let's just copy this. Okay, let's see. Remove this, hit enter, and paste. Now, if you look closely, what you will see is that this is not in the same line with this. Okay, so you must learn to know how to edit this, because in the future you might get a job that require you to know how it works. Sorry, delete. Okay. All right, good. So this is it. So now, but the type of instance you're using, the AMI determines whether you are going to use YUM or APT. So from experience, I'm sure you all know what we're going to do. If we type EC2 instance here, we're going to open this to check for an AMI, specific AMI we are going to use when we want to launch it. So we're going to click on launch instances. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let's use Amazon Linux, which is going to be Amazon Linux 2023, which is YUM. So we'll come here. This is the AMI ID. I'll come here and copy this AMI ID, copy. And I'll come here, paste this, and paste this one. You see that? T2 micro, key pair name. Okay, let's just leave everything the way it is. And if there's any error, we will know. Do you understand? Okay, so now once you're done, you can click on validate to check if there's anything. So it tells us this. So it's telling us resource name is non-alphanumeric. So it doesn't like that dash that we put there. So we can come here and remove that dash and click on validate again. So you can see it says it's valid. I hope this is making sense to everybody. So this is we putting it here. So imagine if we wanted to put it here on what is it called? This guy. So if I had pasted it here, so if there's an error, you will know. You understand? So you can hover your cursor on resolved tag. You understand? So okay. No, don't worry about this for now. I'm going to start explaining what those things means when we are referencing something. Okay, so let's leave it the way it is, especially seeing that it's from the templates from. So the next thing we'll do is just click on this create template and click on confirm and continue. You see, from here, friends, it's not a must you will go through this approach. Did you see what I did? It's not a must you go through this approach. Okay, I'm going to show you how to go use this other one. Okay, but let's just move on with this. So I'm going to come here and click on next. I'm going to come here and call it EC2 demo 1 or EC2 demo again. I'll come here and click on next. All right. I'll click on next. All right, so as you all can see, that thing is there. Click on submit. Now, see, so it tells us creation in progress. So you can always click on this refresh icon to see what's going on. So if I click on refresh, so there's a problem, as you can see here. So, but we will definitely know what the issue is. So let's see, can click here. rollback in progress. Click here. Let's see. So if you scroll down, let's see. This security group does not exist in the VPC. Oh, I did not update that security group. Do you understand? The security group I just got from the documentation, I did not update it. You see, now I actually saw this security group. I wanted to remove it, but I was like, let me paste everything so that even if we get an error, you all learn and become more confident on how to debug these things, and you don't get confused and thrown away when you see these errors. Do you understand? Aha. So please be very comfortable. Okay. So if you look at this security group, this does not exist in the VPC of this. You understand? So if I don't put any security group, right? If I don't put any if I don't put that security group, it's going to use the default one. Do you understand? Aha. So, but I can also create my own security group. But what's the if you want to use, okay, just watch what I'm going to do so that I can reduce the talk. Let's delete this. Let's delete this. Is it progressing? Okay. Okay, click on timeline view to be seeing something like this. In case you prefer this, you click on this. Okay, it's going. Okay, so let me quickly correct everything once and for all. So if you watch here, this is the security group. So if we first of all, yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is there a YAML script for Terraform?
Come again?
Is there a YAML script for Terraform?
Note, Terraform does not use YAML syntax. It uses HCL, HashiCorp language. That's what it uses. Now, it's not like you cannot write it, but I'm sure that you can write it and then convert it to HCL.
Okay.
Yeah,
but so far, this YAML is more basic or simple.
Yeah, it looks simpler and readable. Yeah, that's the reason most people like it. Most people prefer it. Okay, so let's go and get our security group. So okay, let's see. So there's nothing here actually. So if I click on stacks, you notice there's nothing here. All right, good. So so let's update it from here. So okay, I'll just be taking it step by step as if we get any error, we'll fix it. So if I don't put any security group, let's see, it's definitely going to use the default security group, the default VPC that we have. You know, it told you that this security group does not exist in the current VPC. So one of the things you can do is just to type VPC, okay? If you must put it in a VPC, right? So I'm sure you all know how these things work, right? Thank God we touched all those things before we got to this point, right? So you can choose to create your VPC first, okay? That's what we would have done in a full-fledged. So if you check here and click on project, yeah, something like this. So if you watch this one I did here, right? You watch here, you're going to see the instances there. You understand? So if you watch here, the first thing you're going to see, I have something I call parameters. You understand? So, but for now, we are not talking about parameters. Okay. So, but if you watch under resources, you see I created a web security group. So if you want to create a web security group, this is how to do it. You see that? This is how to create a web security group. Okay. In case you want to create a web security group, this is how to create it. Then this is how to create an instance. Okay. And then you can point the instance to that security group by using something we call reference. Let me show you from the documentation. So if we come here and this is the documentation, right? So if you are, so this is under AWS EC2 instance. If you look here, you see different kind of things, right? So let's, this is instance. What we need is security group. So we'll come here and look closely, okay? So you can actually use Control F if you want to, okay? So if you watch here, you're going to see AWS EC2 security group. You can click on it. You understand? Now, if you click on it, let's click on this. Okay, let's just click on. Why is it not responding? Let me be sure. Okay, let me open this in a new tab and see what happens. Let's wait a little while. So sometimes you can also come here and just type AWS Cloudformation EC2 security group. Do you understand? So this is if you want to create it by yourself. This is what I wanted to show you. So when you come here, you're going to see this is the YAML syntax on how to create security group. You understand? And remember, I told you you can look at this thing, group description. You give it a description and it gives you an example of the description you want to give it and tells you the number of characters and the valid characters. Is it required? Yes. You see that? So remember I told you syntax, property, return value, and example. If you click on this, you see an example of how to use the security group. Can you see? This is how to use the security group. You understand? So if you want to put port 8080, you can put one. You can also use port 22 if you want to. You see that? Aha. So now, but if you watch here, you're going to see that this one has something we call VPC ID. And it says reference my VPC. So the question is, there must be a VPC you have created. So it wants to refer to the VPC. Now, again, you might want to create your own VPC first of all. If you watch the project that I did here, right, you're going to see that you can also create what is it called? So okay, no, I did not create the VPC. You understand? But you can also learn how to create a VPC, just the same way you are creating EC2 instance. Do you understand? You can also learn how to create a VPC. So if you come down here at the bottom, AWS V starts with a V, right? Okay, good. Let's see. AWS VPC lattice, no? So in case this is a little bit overwhelming for you, you can always come here and say AWS CloudFormation VPC. You understand? Now, if you click on this, this is what you're going to see. AWS EC2 VPC. You can click on this, okay? And then it's going to open how to create a VPC for your EC2 instance. All right, so let's wait a little while. For some reason, the network is very poor now. Or documentation is loading, it's very slow.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please. Go ahead with your question.
I wanted to ask that is it that we can use CloudFormation and Terraform together when we are working maybe on a live project, or we can only use one, either CloudFormation or we can use Terraform? I know because Terraform has opportunity to work with Azure and GCP, but if you are working mainly on AWS CloudFormation, AWS platform alone, you can use CloudFormation instead of Terraform, or we can use the two together at the same time.
I don't think there's any reason why you want to use. There are many reasons though, but I don't think it's both can distinctively do the job and do it great. CloudFormation is awesome, especially in AWS. So before now, we can use Terraform and do great things with Terraform, just Terraform alone without even working with CloudFormation. So the same thing, CloudFormation is just preference. You will be the one to decide which one you prefer to use. You understand? So if you want to use both of them, fine. You understand? So one will be doing something, the other one will be doing another thing. You understand? So it's very, very possible. Very possible. All right. So this is
Thank you.
you're welcome. So this is it. You see that? So if you want to create a VPC, you understand? This is what we're going to need. Okay, we'll put a cider string. So if you click, you can click on examples. So you see a typical example of what it looks like when you want to create a VPC. Did you see that? So if I if I want to create a VPC, this is what I will do. I could just come here and copy this VPC here, this YAML file. Come here, go to my what is it called? Come to this. You understand? I can choose to create the VPC first. Okay, I can come here, want to paste this. Sorry, I've already pasted resources. So yeah. So if you watch here, my VPC, is it not true? So this is the VPC I just created. So if it is 10.0.0, so I can come here and change this to 28.0.0.16 and just leave everything the way it is. This is a simple what is it called? A simple VPC. You see that? Now, in this VPC is going to, we want to create a security group. You know, the security group is inside a VPC. I hope you all know that. So if you now come to this one that shows you how to create a security group, you understand? So this is now telling you that the VPC ID should reference what? My VPC. Can you see the way we refer it? Okay. So because where can I find this? Where should I create this security group? Create it inside this VPC. That's why we say VPC ID column exclamation reference. This is my VPC, and that's what you have here. So if you come here and click on this, you can come here now and then hit enter and move your cursor to this place and then paste it. You see that? So you can come up here. So this is what we have. This is, you understand? So if you watch here, this is my VPC. Okay. Now let's see. So you can come here and say simple VPC. So you can come here and this is to reference it. Simple VPC. You understand? So this was what we used to refer to it. You see that? So now this is for the VPC. This is the security group we want to create inside that VPC. Now, the next thing you might ask yourself is, inside that security group, Ingress from Terraform, you know that Ingress is like incoming rule or inbound. Egress is external. You understand? Okay, so 8080 simply means we want to open a web server kind of service. If you say you want to put a key to SSH into it, it means it's going to be port 22. Is it not true? So if you want more ingress, you put more ingress. I hope this is making sense to us. So you can just come here, look at this. Now you've created a security group and you've created a VPC, right? So the next thing you want to do is this. This is the instance. You understand? So in this security groups ID, you can now come here, you understand? And now put your exclamation and now put your reference. You understand? And then where do you want it to get the security group from? The name of your security group. Do you understand? The name of your security group, which in this case is the name we called it. If you look at this one, we call it simple VPC. If you look at this one, we call it instance security group. So you come here, either you copy it or you come here and say reference instance security group. You understand? That's what you're referring to. So let's see. Let's see. So if you watch this, this is just how it works. Okay, I think I'm the one that added this. No, this shouldn't be here. And this also, okay, it's not there. All right. Any question? Is this making sense to everybody?
Yes,
So
sir. I want to ask, if we are to open all ports, are we to put the white card there for instead of 18?
if you are
I
to
mean the
open,
asterisk instead of 18, all ports.
you can just use what is it called? You can put this is from this to this. So you can just put from 0 to 699. I think it's 65,535. So you can put from zero
Okay.
to this. You understand?
Okay, asterisk doesn't work on this one.
No, I don't. I've not tried that.
Okay.
Not tried that, but it's possible. You have not tried that. You see that? So now this is what we have here. So you can actually come here, copy this, and then if you are inside this guy, no, this guy, okay. So if this is what we've done, because we've not validated it, right? We don't have something like a validator here, you understand? But you open this composer here if you want to be seeing the composer and so you can go to the templates section and paste this. See that? And ask it to validate it. You understand? It will tell you. So resource definition is malform instance security group. So let's see, one error, only one error. So let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I think it's in the indentation. It's in the indentation. So this is supposed to be 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's supposed to be 1, 2. So I can just highlight all of them and press tab here. If you press tab, it's supposed to align. So they're all under properties. So okay, good. So this is it. So let's check to be sure. Select this again and paste it here and ask it to validate. Okay, good. It tells me that it's valid. Can we all see it? Okay. Even though that guy is spotting some error, but Terraform, it says this guy, why am I using Terraform? CloudFormation says this guy is okay. You understand? So I hope you guys saw what I did. I didn't do any magic. Okay. All right. Good. So I've been using this one before now, right? Let's go and use the other one. So from here, I'll click on create stack. Instead of using this one again, I can just use this one. Both of them will still work. The most important thing is the YAML file. You understand? The YAML file here is the most important thing. If I click on create templates now, it's going to use this approach. But I can also use this one, choose an existing template. So if you store it in S3 somewhere, you can go and get it. You can do this. You can click here and then put the URL here. If you have it on your system, you can click here and click on choose file to go and get it. If you have it on GitHub, it's on GitHub. You can choose this. You understand? Now, but you will need to go and connect AWS to your GitHub. Okay, you need to use what we call the connector. Okay, there's a way you need to connect your AWS account to your GitHub account so that you can search for the specific repository. You understand? So I hope this is not confusing for anybody. Okay, so but I'm going to choose this one that says use a template file. Okay, so let's assume this is the one I want to use. So I'll right click this and say reveal a
So
file explorer. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, the template file is talking about, is it a particular place or storage where you can save all those information like the
Yeah.
GitHub? That's what you're saying, right?
Come again.
I mean, the template file, that specific template file is talking about where it can save all the YAML file they're talking about, just for you to get it very well, right? Like the Git, the sync from Git or sync from Amazon S3 URL, right? Like where it could save that particular this YAML file. That's the meaning. That's the work of the specific template file here.
Not really. I
Is that
think
the
you're
meaning?
changing.
Do you
You're
get?
changing it. Let me explain. You're changing the wordings and the meaning. So what I'm saying is this, right? You saw me when I clicked on this, right? And you told me to go and create the template. If I click on this, it's going to open a page that looks like this. And then you see a GUI. Is it not true? That will ask me to do something like this. Can you see the GUI? This is the template. This is the GUI. You see that? So this instance is tied to the security group, and this security group is inside the VPC. You understand? This is what we just did right now. Now, but I don't want to use this approach again because at least I've explained how it works. Okay. So what I am saying to you is this. If you want to pick it from your instead of opening this to do it from here, right? But you have it on VS Code or you have it on your computer system here, right? You can simply choose an existing template. Every stack is based on a template. A template is a JSON or YAML file that contains configuration information about the AWS resource you want included in the stack. That's what a template is. So wherever you get it from is your decision. So if you click choose a existing template, the question is there are 3 places you can get a template from. Do you want to get it from S3? So if I upload this file here, this writings cloudformation.yml, if I create a bucket in S3 and upload it there, I can choose this and put the URL of the S3 bucket here. So CloudFormation will create those resources through using this S3 that is specified in this S3 bucket. Do you understand? The resources, everything we have here in this file that is specified in this S3 bucket that I had uploaded, that's what it will use. If I say, no, I don't want to use this, I want to upload it from my own computer, then I will click on choose file. And then I will go to desktop. And then I will go to CloudFormation, Cloud Intermediate, and open, let me see. No. Terraform code. Is this the one we're working? No. Hold on, let's see. Cloud Intermediate Engineering. So Cloud Intermediate Engineering. So let's check another folder. Cloud Intermediate Engineering. How come I can't find the folder? Interesting. Okay, Intermediate Cloud Engineering. Oh my God. Okay, see there, this one. So if you open this folder, you're going to see that there's a file called writing cloudformation.yml. If I click on open, it's going to attach it. Can you see the file here? And then it's going to store it in an S3. That thing I wrote here, it stores it in its own. Take note, it's not that the file is in S3, it's just that CloudFormation is going to create a copy and store it for you. Okay, that file that you just uploaded, it stores it in an S3 bucket. Does that make sense? Now, this sync from Git is in case, because this file here is in my computer. What if this file is actually in GitHub? You can click on sync from Git. You see that? And then go and point it to the Git repository. And then you are good. I hope that did not selected the file I want to select. All right, so let's select the file. So I've selected the file. I'll click on next. You see that? Template format error. Okay. So, after we fixed those errors here, because of the indentation, I did not adjust it. So let's copy this one that's here. Sorry. Let's copy this one here because we validated it and it's correct now. You notice when we validated it, it was correct. So let's just come and paste it inside this file. Okay. Delete and paste this here. Okay. Control S to save it. All right, good. So now let's go back again. So we have to come here and say choose file, select the file again and say open. Okay, good. You see, click on next. All right, you see that error is no longer there. So let's give it a name. So let's call it EC2 demo. And then let's say we'll click next. And for now, we'll just keep everything the way it is and click on next. So do everything and click on submit. All right, let's wait and see what's happening. Any question? Friends, any question? Do we understand the progress so far?
I wanted to
click
ask a
on
question, but
refresh.
I've seen the solution already.
Okay, good. So now let's check to see if the resources are being created. So let's come here and click on this and say instances. Okay, is it this one? It just created now? Well, we never can tell. Let's see. Refresh. Wow, got another error. Strange. Okay, let's see. Resource.
So I think the key name,
is in a create field state. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the key does not exist. I remember. So, but the beautiful thing is that if you watch this, did you notice? Look at other things. Did you notice that it created the EC, the VPC? So if you want to see what it has created so far, go to resources. You're going to see that it created the VPC and it created the security group. It was about creating the EC2 instance, but there was no such key like that in that. You understand? So we can go and create the key. Let me just quickly do that. So even though I'm doing everything manually, sir, let's just go and create a key. So
so I want to ask you, like for example, now if we
just click on key
created a key now, the key name that's on it, are we going to also state the same name that's there? Like I stated my own as Ola key, Ola -key. So I have to put the Ola -key there too, right? On the code.
Ideally, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Let me be sure. I don't want us to get more error, and I don't want anybody to get confused. So let's remove this thing, and let's just call. We can just okay. We already have one here, or I can just click one here and say create key pair, and just call it simple CF key. Okay, simple CF key, and it's a PEM key file for use with PuTTY. No, just leave it the way it normally is. Don't do anything. Just click on create key pair. All right, good. So we've created a simple key. All right, so simple CF key. So we'll come here and say simple CF key. Now, I like the fact that we are doing all this so that we'll just be seeing what is happening. If you are making a mistake, you will know. So you can also search the guide. For instance, if you come here and type key, you can come here and type key. You understand? No, you might not find it here. So we can when we were talking about the key security group, right? Yeah, I think it's from security group. Yeah. So in security group, which is here, if you look carefully, you could see that okay, no, not so if you watch here when we're creating the instance, that's where we can specify the key name. So if we go back to the previous documentations, let me see if we can go back to other documentations, or let's just do it from here. Let's EC2 instance. Okay, so we can create a key pair if we want to. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So while it's opening, that's if we want to create our key pair. But if I go to EC2 instance, which is this, so if you watch closely, right, you're going to see key name. Can you see key name? It tells you that it takes a string. Key name takes a string. So you can go to example. Oh, sorry. I asked you to open since you did not open. What's wrong with you? This documentation is very funny and weird. Okay, this is VPC. This is security group. This is the key pair. Okay, no, let's go back. Okay, hold on. This is key pair. This is security. No, I want this one to be on the instance. Yes, good. So that will be pairing both of them. So if you want to create a key, this is what it looks like. Okay, if you want to create a key, this is what it looks like. Okay, so you need to specify the format. It tells you what you need. So is it required? No. So it tells you all the information. You click on examples. This is what it looks like when you want to create a key. You understand? You put this, you put key name, specify the instance, the image ID, and you reference the key name. Please, does this make sense to everybody? Import an existing key pair, specify it when launching an instance. So if you want to specify, so this is to import a key that you already have on your local system. That's when you use something like this. Do you understand? So, but let's just see if just using the key name, if it's going to work. Okay. So else we'll just remove that part of the key. It's not compulsory. So how do I know it's not compulsory? So if you watch here, so right now on that key pair, you can't tell whether it's compulsory or not. But if you come to the EC2 instance, right, and you go on that, so if you come on that here and check, so you can come here and type key under the key section, key pair, or what I usually do is I press Control. Okay, it's searching the results. No, go away. No. No. Just go back to where you were before. I wanted to use Control F. Don't worry, guys. We're almost wrapping up. EC2 instance. Good. So I can always use Control F. Okay, and just type key. All right. So notice that when you come to key name, it tells you, is it required? No. Do you understand? So we can actually remove it. So it's telling you can create a key pair using create key pair, or you can import a key pair. I hope this is making sense to everybody. It's not compulsory if you want to, but they say if you do not specify a key pair, you can't connect to the instance unless you choose an AMI that is configured to allow users another way to log in. You understand? So I don't think let's not bother ourselves since we're not going to SSH into it, or let's leave it and see if it's going to use the key that we already created there. So let's just come here and go into this. So control, so just check it, paste this and ask it to validate. Okay, I think it's okay. So we come here, so since this key failed, so let's come here, click here. Now we can come here, or if you go to stacks, you can select this stack, click here. Now there's something we used to do back okay, because this was not successful, that's why we cannot update and replace this. Okay, so but I'll show you once we just get it successfully, I'll show you how we can update it. Okay, so let's just delete this quickly. Okay, it's deleting it. Let's see. Okay, it's gone. So I'll click on this again quickly. Click on upload, just to be sure that everything is fine. Okay, good. Which is this guy. Click on choose file. Select the file again. Click on open. Scroll down. Okay, everything seems good. Click on next. EC2 demo again. Click on next. This time around will be faster. Click on next. And click on submit. Now it's not always this difficult, okay? It's just that we are trying to understand how to read the file. Okay. If we don't know how to read it, we cannot create it. And if you notice, it's becoming easier. The more we do this again and again and again and again, you can read it. It's making sense gradually. You understand? It's making sense gradually. Okay. So this is what we've done so far. I'm sure you all can see it. So if we go and check, we've already created some of our resources already. So if you come here and just type VPC and check, you should be able to see that we've already created some VPCs with our CloudFormation. When we run it the first time, although we've deleted it anyway, so it's going to destroy it. But I think the one we are doing right now, you're going to see let's see. So see the one we are doing right now. If you can see, this is the IP. You understand? This is, okay. Let's mute ourselves, please. Okay. So let's. Is it the same one again? What's happening? What's happening? Oh, security group. Return this. Hold on. Security group. Security group SG and this subnet belongs to different networks. Did I copy and paste something? You see, that's the problem with copying and pasting. So you need to be sure that you are not copying and pasting something wrong. Hold on, let me see.
Sorry, I noticed just from your information. From the link is the same code on your CloudFormation.
What did you say? Come again?
I mean, you know, your CloudFormation just from your from the
Your network is breaking. I could barely hear you. Hola.
saved file. Yeah, I have the code from your CloudFormation.
Come again. So sorry. Come again so that I can get you clearly.
The code. You update the code from your CloudFormation.
Okay, is it the file? Like this file?
Yes. You didn't update this on your CloudFormation, on the CloudFormation.
I think I did. I think I did. Okay, let's use one once and for all. So let's view what we have here. This is the VPC we have here, and this is the IP we're using. Okay. So I can come here and just maybe change this to okay, 20, let's use 28. It's fine. 28. And then these are just tags. There's nothing special about these tags. You can always remove it. It's not compulsory. Then this is the security group we are creating. Okay, we called it instance security group. It's not a must, it must be that name. Can be any name. Okay, so so this is correct. This is the key name.
Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Yeah.
And that's this. It's the same thing with the other one then now. Let's validate it again. Okay, let's try it one more time. Let me use this one again, just to save time. All right. Okay, just to save time. So I'll just click next. Oof. Let's see. Try stack again. All right. I'll click on next. Scroll down. That's if I made any mistake because of what I was pasting. Let's see. So this one is there. So this is the one we're just trying now. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. It has created these resources.
Yeah, it's working. It's going. It's going.
Let's see. It has failed then.
Oh.
It has failed on this part. It's still the same error. Hold on. Let me be sure that the AMI ID and the keys that I'm using, security group this and subnet this belongs to different network. Okay, let me see. That's the subnet where it is creating the instance. Is not in the same security group. That's what it's saying. So let's see. Let me see.
We didn't declare subnets. Do we declare subnets here?
There will always be a subnet, public subnet or private subnet. There will always be one in every VPC you create.
Okay, okay.
Yep, that's what it's going
Even
on there.
without declaring.
Let's look at this carefully. But please, I hope this is not confusing for anybody, at least for us that has started this step by step. You understand? The goal is to really understand this. I could as well just gone with the project that I already created here. You understand? And paste it. It will definitely work because I tested it. Do you understand? Before this class. But I decided to do something very, very simple from the ground up. You understand? So that you all can see me doing it. Okay? All right. So let's look at this closely and see what exactly could be the problem. So the first tool creates itself. It creates the security group. Okay, let's check this closely. It creates the security group and it creates this VPC. And this is the security group it creates, right? If you check here, you're going to see the security group it creates, which is this one. Now it's telling us that this guy, according to this error, it says the security group will just created and the subnet belong and subnet this belongs to different network. Service EC2 status code, this request ID is, let me see. So hold on. Let me first of all find this subnet. If I can find this subnet ID, I will know which security group it belongs to. Then I will know if it's an order problem, the order in which it is creating it. It's possible it is this instance belong to the default subnet. So I just want to check something. So friends, just give me a few minutes. Let me see something. So if I this is security group. So let's go to VPCs. Let's come here, type VPC here, and type subnet. All right, so let's paste that one. So do we have something like this? No matching one.
No.
Okay. So let's see the one we created. Hold on. Seems it did not create. Or hold on. Let's go to VPC and see. Let's see the VPC. I'll click on clear. Refresh. So okay. Okay, it has rolled back because it has rolled back. It's deleted everything. So yeah, it rolled back means it deleted everything back again. What I wanted to check, it seems it has to do with the order. So what I'll quickly do is I'm going to bring this instance up above and let's get this. So this is the security group. And so all right, so simple VPC, we create the instance. So it's the job is to refer to this guy. If you don't like the name, let me know so I know what the problem is. So I just choose this. Even though the error has changed, the error before was key name. Now it's no longer giving us that error. So
Yes.
So VPC reference simple VPC. Let me see. Simple. Is that the name I called it? Simple VPC. Let me be sure.
No.
Simple VPC. Like exactly what I typed there. Okay, that's it here. Still referencing this. Okay, so let's copy this. Let's save it and then copy whatever is here. And just to test it in the validator here to see okay, the validator is not here, so I'll just quickly go back and click on stacks and delete them. So I'll click on this and press delete. And click on this, press delete. All right, so click on this, click on this, click on this, and refresh this. We should see this. So I'll click on this, and let's just check this guy and paste it on the template and see we validate everything. All right, good. Right, good. So let's do this one quickly. All right, good. Okay. Try stack again. Next. All right, I hope this works.
Hopefully.
Hope this works. So please, guys, the most important thing I want us to know is to learn how to read this documentation. Once you know how to read it, you're good to go. It makes things very, very simple for you. You understand? You can be able to do a whole lot of things. Okay? So this is it. So, but where's that instance? Okay, this is EC2 instance. So let's go to the examples. Okay, yeah. This is just how to use the EC2 instance. Okay, it's just creating a simple instance without anything. It's definitely going to use the default VPC. So if you do this kind of thing like this, it's going to create we're trying to keep everything very simple. Let's see, where are we on this? It failed again. It's still giving us this. There's a problem somewhere. Is it the AMI ID?
Don't we need to create to declare the subnets the way we declare security group?
That's what I'm thinking I'll have to do now, because if we create a VPC, because what we have here is security group this and subnet this belong to different networks. So from all
We need to
indication,
declare
if it creates this security
subnets
group,
too.
it means it's not seeing that okay, hold on.
Then we'll
Let's
be
see.
the one to be pointing to the subnet. Okay, this is the subnet I want to work on.
What I will do is this. Let's just keep it very simple. I'll keep it very simple first by simply just what I will do is let me remove some of those things to confirm something. Okay, just to be sure that every other thing is working fine. But the most important thing is that we're able to create a VPC which works fine. It's able to create a security group which works fine. So, but I'm wondering why it did that. But well, let me just also never can tell. Let's copy this or a search for this. No result found for this. Okay, good. Somebody says security group and subnet belongs to a different network. Okay, good. Let's see. So we can come here and see. This is Terraform. This is Terraform. Let's just read it. Okay, so this is AWS template. Okay, good. I got the above problem resolved by the pointers provided in the comments. The relationship between subnets, VPC, security group, and EC2 instance are below. The first thing which should get created is the VPC, okay, which we've done. The second is the subnets. Yeah, you mentioned the VPC ID is created earlier. So the third thing you create as security groups here, you mentioned VPC ID is created. There's a property network interface where you provide a subnet ID, a group set. Below is a sample template. Okay, good. So let's see. So if I understand carefully, you created a VPC, you created a subnet, and then you created a security group, and then you created an instance. So from all indication, we're the one that shot ourselves on the foot when we decided to create those things without specifying a subnet. So
Subnets. No, I said
yes,
it.
so we have to come here and look for so
Subnets.
AWS CloudFormation subnet. So we can do this and click enter. I just love the fact that at least it's not confusing. I can delete those things and just show us, okay, VPC, very simple. But I want us to be able to create a full-fledged thing. In case you want to create a 2-tier architecture, you need to create everything holistically. You understand? So remember, always check these 3 sections. If you don't want to go through all this thing, just go to examples. You understand? So you see the YAML file and see how to get the examples. You understand? Aha. So we can come here and just copy this. You see that? And then or you can come here and after the VPC. So the next thing we want to do is to create the this guy. So we'll just
Subnet.
paste this one. So we come here, 1, 2. Oh, and is it on the same line? 2. Okay, yeah, it's on the same line now. So call it my subnet.
What did you press?
It's referencing. It's just tab. Simple.
Okay.
Simple VPC. Yes, simple VPC. And the CIDR block must be consistent. 28 slash 24
.16.0.0, right?
slash 24 is to make it smaller. So this is fine. Then availability zone US is 1A. Okay, cool. Okay, this makes sense. So
we didn't give space
right,
between the subnet and the EC2 instance. So we don't.
No,
it doesn't
really
right?
matter. Doesn't matter really. As long as the indentation is done properly, it knows what to do. All right, so let's copy this.
All right. Okay.
Let's copy this and delete this again. It's an interesting session. All right. Okay, so there's nothing here. So if you go back to stacks, you won't see anything here. Click on create stack. So either we go and pick this file, or at least you all know the two difference now. So either you go and pick this or you use this. So the most important thing is you are getting used to the interface. The more we do this error, I didn't mean I just did it one way now. Everybody will be like, I need to go and practice because it might work for me, but it might not work for you. You see? So this guy says valid. Okay, cool. So that's great.
We'll be using one-way traffic.
Yes. Can be very confusing, actually. So let's click on next. And let's call this, maybe these names are not nice. Let me see if I use it. Use Archiver stack. It's stack. Just maybe.
Honestly, it could be also one of the reasons.
Hey. All right. No, I can tell. Now, if that's the reason you would have told us. Yes, Mr. Ose, go ahead, please.
So when you copy it from VS Code and you wanted to paste it, what if it's not well arranged? Like, is there a way you can? Is it that you're the one that's going to do the
that's why I
arranging, or
usually
like
go to
Terraform
that.
where it's?
That's why I usually go to this guy here. You understand? Or I don't even need to come to this place. Just from here, I can just open this infrastructure composer, the GUI. You understand? And it's going to open me this. So I can just click on the template and just paste my code here. You understand? And then click on validate to validate my code for me. You understand? If there's a problem with the indentation, you will know. You see the error.
Okay, then you can correct it from
yes,
here.
You can correct it from here or from your VS Code, whichever one.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. Fresh. What did we do today? What is going on? What is going on? It created a subnet, but let's see. Security group this and subnet this belongs to a different network. Hold on. Okay, let me still use this possible solution. So you create the VPC, you create the subnet, and then you create the security group. And after you create a security group, you go ahead to create the instance. And that's exactly what I did. The key name references.
That's one network interface. He added network interface.
Yeah, it did, but let's see.
We need consultants.
Yeah, we might need that because that's what's probably telling the difference. You know what? We're already exceeding the class. Oh my God. I hope my system doesn't go off. It's 15%. Okay, I'll be out of power. Okay, just so that we don't, the most important thing is we've introduced Terraform, CloudFormation, right? And it's making sense to every one of us. So if I just wanted to do something very, very simple without all this VPC stuff, or let's just come here and say, I remove this VPC, right? I just wanted to create just create an EC2 instance. That's all. I don't want to put it in any security group or any key.
But it's
Something
just
like
it will,
this. It will use the default VPC.
default.
Default
Yeah.
VPC, yeah.
Another thing is to be checking this AMI to be sure that this AMI is not the one responsible for all the challenges I've been getting. Because it's possible that,
So for CloudFormation, I mean,
let's see. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening, please.
so we can't have like a variable block for it, right? Like
We can.
variable.yaml.
You are using Terraform approach. No, you're using
Okay.
Terraform approach. No, it doesn't work that way. But of course, we can do those kind of configuration. But the way this one works is different. We use what we call parameters. Okay, there's something we call parameters. So don't worry, we'll get there now next class so you can understand it better. So I'll paste this something simple like this and click on validate. Okay, this guy is very simple and is validated. Okay, so I just want to be sure this my instance is not let's come here and just put EC2 just to be sure. That's all the while I was stressing myself. It's not because the AMI ID, it's in a different place entirely. You understand? And which one is this?
We made this since you can see it's different. When
Okay.
did you open? When did you launch? This one is different.
I don't know, but
For your
okay.
last class.
It might be, I think that today's day is 24th. Oh my God, the battery, 24th. Let's see. I'm sure it's today, but maybe one of my mentees
Around
that I
we did
give
it 2 o'clock.
my
Yeah,
credentials
yeah.
to, maybe. Let's see. Okay, so we just have this. So let's just something simple, just so that you guys will see that this is going to work, right? So we'll just do this. Just click on next. Okay, sorry, you don't like Achiever Stack. Just usually Achiever, okay? It's me, your guy. Walk, okay? So let's click on next. And let's click on submit.
Allow work.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Refresh. Click on this. Okay. It's making progress. It's making progress. Okay, it's done. As you can see, create complete.
Yeah,
so
congratulations.
now, if you watch here, you see create complete events. You see this. Now, in most cases, you may not see complete here. Just be looking out for this. If you can see the create complete here, don't worry, it's created. Okay. So because if you are refreshing this, you see, so you can go to this timeline view, you can go to table view, but this will still be showing you like this. Don't get confused. So you can just always go and check and know if you have the EC2 instance. If we refresh this, we should be able to see another instance here. Yeah, good. So this is the instance we just created now. So if you watch closely, you are going to see that's good. It's a Linux version, and that's the one we just created, 2249,
Amazon
which is 2249. Okay, friends. So we're going to stop here for today, and we'll do one or few more things tomorrow. in our next class. We'll put it together with Terraform, and then we'll move to the next
And when
thing.
is
So
it?
we still have many more things to do. Okay. So please, if you have
Do we have class
questions,
tomorrow?
please. No, tomorrow, no, we don't have a class tomorrow. Okay. Sorry that I'm rushing. It's because of my battery, so it doesn't trip off on you guys. So, but please, if anybody has a question, kindly let me know. I encourage you to practice as much as possible. We're going to try and resolve those issues that we had, right? So that we can know the order in which to create them, which one comes before which, and so on and so forth. Okay, it's because I'm in haste and trying to do everything very fast and probably confusing myself too.
Is it the module you're talking about?
Oh, sir.
No, I talked about modules in Terraform later. We'll do all those things later. You understand? We'll talk
Sir,
about it later.
the class we have on Thursday or Friday, we didn't
I'll
see
stop
the
recording
link
now.
or
I'll stop
the
recording
class
now.
for Thursday.
We didn't
Yeah,
actually have
the
any
class
class. It was just